Episode 80 will be one of the most epic episodes, and we will remember it for a long time, because this episode is included in the list of grand episodes of Dafuk Boom. Anything is possible in the plot, for example, a hint at a new race. Because already in episode 81, we should see this when Dafuk Boom listed all the races that are powerless against the red screen. He also accidentally wrote about computers. Then he immediately wrote that he did not mean race. But is this true? We will find out today. But what will definitely happen in episode 80 is the full appearance of Speakerman Titan 3.0, but there is one nuance, and you will soon find out about it. By the way, Dafuk Boom has already answered this question earlier. It is also worth mentioning the appearance of G-Man in the form of a Titan with his secret weapon, because we still don't know what or who he meant when he talked about a secret weapon, and some don't even know that G-Man uses stolen secret agent technology. Well, if you've already liked it, then let's begin. In the previous video, I told you a lot of details about episode 80 and even shared exclusive information from Dafuk Boom. But I still didn't tell you everything. As we already know, episode 80 will consist of 2 or 3 parts, which means that the plot will be very detailed and well developed, because usually Dafuk Boom doesn't add parts to the episodes. Episode 80 will reveal even more about the series and give us insight into the motives of some of the characters. For example, based on Dafuk Boom's response, we can assume that episode 80 will be a setup for something big, because if episode 81 is supposed to reveal this secret character who appeared throughout episodes 72 and 79, then in episode 80 we should learn at least some information, because episode 80 is also on Dafuk Boom's list of the most epic episodes. And by the way, you can't ask Dafuk 2 questions in one sentence, because he will only answer one of them, and it's up to you to decide what he meant. Most likely, this refers to the return of the Titan Speakerman, since we haven't seen him or the Cameraman in a very long time. Now, I'll tell you why we'll see the Titan Speakerman in episode 80, but not right away. First, as we remember, at the end of episode 79, the Titan Speakerman said,
"Don't rush, friends. I'll come out as soon as I'm ready."
This line is ambiguous. It refers both to the agents who are improving him and to the viewers, that is, to us. Dafuk Boom breaks the fourth wall and addresses us, making it clear that the Titan Speakerman is not ready yet, and that we need to wait a little longer. But considering his partial appearance in episode 66 and the fact that in episode 80 we should see the return of a powerful character, we can assume that the Titan will appear in the second part of episode 80. I say this based on similar episodes. For example, when the TV man Titan appeared, he made a partial appearance in episode 66, and the next episode, 67, as you remember, was divided into parts, or more precisely into 4 parts, and the TV man Titan appeared in the middle of episode 67 in the 3rd part. Therefore, I assume that the Speakerman Titan will appear in the middle of episode 80, when the Titan is completely ready. The plot and location in episode 80 will be in a completely different place. The transition will be abrupt, like after episode 70 to 71. After numerous episodes in the building, we suddenly appeared in an open field and were even shown 3 Titans, so I think there is an analogy here as well. After the Cameraman's base is destroyed, we will find ourselves in a completely new place with new characters. For example, we may appear at the location from episode 78 and see what happened after the battle between the Speakerman Armada and the Astro Toilets. After all, the Armada didn't even show up at the Speakerman's base, which means they are all still on the mission, or they all died on the battlefield, which is unlikely. So far, we only have one character who died so quickly in battle, and that is Robert. Press F. By the way, maybe there are other significant characters who appeared and immediately died in battle. Write in the comments. In one of Dafuk Boom's replies, when viewers on his Discord server asked him about a new race, Dafuk gave a very interesting answer, writing, "What if the new race is already among us?" Let me remind you that Dafuk Boom never writes anything just like that, and this is clearly a hint, because if you look at the big picture, these characters have not been revealed to us yet, and maybe they are all the same character. Also, a secret agent is clearly involved here, and if the new race refers to PC Man, then the secret agent will be on that list. There have been many hints about this, such as the secret agent's bright eyes when he says the word computer, or the strange placement of the computer and other equipment on his desk, considering that the secret agent does not need a computer. What's also surprising is Dafuk Boom's response from his email. One of the viewers asked a question about the plot and the red glow of the screens, and Dafuk went on to list all the races and said that they all have a weakness for the red light of the screens. But the strange thing is that when Dafuk listed the races of agents, he also mentioned computers. But then he clarified that by computer, he did not mean a new race. There are two options here. Either Dafuk is trying to confuse us, or it's really a typo and Dafuk didn't mean a race. Okay, let's leave this question open. Look how helpless Astro Juggernaut looks next to the not quite improved G-Man. Astro Toilet simply had no chance against him. G-Man's appearance will be a very significant event because he will not come empty-handed. G-Man is a very ambiguous character. He is one of those characters who has been with us throughout the series, namely since episode 7, even before the Titans appeared. He is one of the main characters and his appearance is just around the corner. We last saw him in season 25 when he intrigued us several times. First, G-Man mentioned some kind of secret weapon. We still don't know anything about this weapon, but most viewers think it could be a Cameraman Titan. I think he means the stolen technology of a secret agent, because as you remember, the scientist Skibidi died because he betrayed a secret agent and tried to steal his technology. The scientist managed to pass the technology on to G-Man. So now G-Man has the power of invisibility and intangibility. G-Man currently possesses the most powerful technology. Think about it. How can you destroy him without seeing him? Or even if you see him, how can you eliminate him if you can't touch him? I think that if Dafuk Boom doesn't fix this superpower, he will come up with a character who has similar abilities or a weapon capable of defeating G-Man, since at the moment G-Man is impossible to destroy. Most likely, Skibidi the scientist and G-Man stole not only this technology, but also other more powerful ones. After all, when G-Man said that he had a secret weapon, his technology was already active, which means he did not mean its intangibility. When Iron Cameraman asked Dafuk about the appearance of the Titans in episode 80, he made a mistake and did not ask a specific question, so Dafuk replied directly that he would not answer that question. But note that this answer was not sarcastic or ambiguous, such as maybe or anything is possible. Does this mean that after Iron Cameraman's question, Dafuk Boom's plans were revealed, and that is why he answered that way? But as I said above, in my opinion, Titan Speakerman will appear in episode 80, and all this will happen in the second part, unless, of course, episode 80 is divided into 3 parts. As for the release date of episode 80, I think it will come out faster than episode 79, because as you remember, when the previous episodes were being created, Dafuk Boom told us that while his team was working on those episodes, he himself was working on episode 80. Therefore, if the plans have not changed and everything is going according to Dafuk's schedule, we may see episode 80 at the end of this month. In general, if Dafuk has been working on episode 80 all this time, which is several months, then anything can happen unexpectedly, as was the case with the full episode 79, which was released 4 days after the promised 1 month. I recommend subscribing and clicking on the bell, because that way you'll be up to date with all the latest news. As always, this has been Super Cameraman. See you very soon, good luck everyone, and bye for now.